All right, folks, we're gonna get started tonight. We have such a big crowd. All right, I'd like to call to order the October meeting of the Windsor Township Board of Supervisors. Before we start, I'd like to invite everybody to stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So I guess all you folks are here for a reason tonight.
Doesn't everyone know the Phillies are on tonight?
Trump's in town.
They are, okay.
Oh,
I'm not a voter case yet. We don't know who's in it.
All right, let's move on. Can someone make a motion to approve the minutes of the September 11th board?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second? All in favor say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. All right, at this time, we are going to talk about the decision or the opinion for Mountain Trail Solar, and I'm going to turn the meeting over to Melissa Farby, our solicitor, for this section.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. We don't have microphones in this room, but I think you can probably all hear me. What we are going to do is we're going to announce the decision. I'm going to phrase a motion for the board, and then I will then read the decision, not the opinion, but the decision for them to affirm. The question before the board this evening is whether to approve the conditional use application that was filed by Mountain Trail Solar LLC and Leeward Renewable Energy Development LLC. And before the board votes, I'm going to ask everyone, whether you agree or don't agree with the decision, please hold your emotion. We don't want to have, applause or booing, whatever the case may be. And so I will ask the board if they will entertain that motion, and we'll vote.
I'll make that motion. Do I have a second?
Say it again, I was restless.
So the question before the board is whether the board votes to approve the conditional use application that was filed by Mountain Trail Solar LLC and Leeward Renewable Energy Development LLC.
Okay, you made the motion.
I'll make the motion. Do I have a second?
Well, the second is to present the motion. So now you need to, there needs to be a vote.
Okay, well, I'll second it and present the,
All in favor say aye.
aye.
Aye. Ayes have it.
Okay, let's try again.
He just wants to say, don't say yay or nay.
Okay. Mr. Mazeka, how do you vote on the application for the conditional use application that was filed by Mountain Trail Solar LLC and Leeward Renewable Energy Development LLC?
My vote is in favor of the project.
Mr. Davis, how do you vote?
I am denying the project, and I have some notes I'd like to read.
Okay, just in one moment. Mr. Long, how do you vote? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Is it the decision of the board as follows, and now this last day, October 2024, the Board of Supervisors of Windsor Township, Berks County, Pennsylvania, upon review and consideration of the evidence as presented at the conditional use hearing in this matter, in light of the existing laws and regulations, hereby denies the conditional use application of Mountain Trail Solar LLC and Leeward Renewable Energy Development LLC. The decision is by a vote of 2-1. Is that your decision, Mr. Mazeka?
Yes.
Mr. Long?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Okay, now if any members of the board have comments they'd like to make, now would be the appropriate time for that.
Okay. I appreciate the offer to do that. I have just a few things I want to say here. My duty as township supervisor. Pardon?
Yeah, speak up louder.
My duty as township supervisor in this case is determine if the applicant meets the requirements in the ordinance. Solar is a permitted use in the township, but the developer must comply with the ordinance that has been adopted and in place for many years now. After listening to both parties, applicant and objectors, Then comparing our ordinance to their testimony, it's my decision that the applicant did not meet the requirements set forth in the ordinance. Here are a few examples that I'd like to cite, which is also in the decision that Russell has put together. Number 1, section 615N, glare. Applicant testified the glare would be on public highways and also on adjoining properties, so much that the applicant testified that they offered each adjoining property owner $5,000 for trees or barriers to shield them from the glare. Number 2, section 615 for height. No part of the solar system or support structure can be higher than 20 feet. The applicant testified the substation would be higher than 20 feet and they were not going to address the height issue. Number 3, section 201, applicant status. Leeward Renewable Energy Development entered into option contracts with property owners in the township, but Mountain Trail Solar made an application for conditional use. The ordinance requires the person or entities applying for a conditional use to be landowners or developer. Thus, at the time of the application, Mountain Trail Solar did not have standing. Number 4, section 403. The ordinance states that we need to protect productive agricultural soils for future agricultural use. This project would use a large tract of land, 440 acres, and class 2 and 3 soils, which according to the USDA should be avoided for grid scale solar. Given the significant size and types of the soils, this project is not consistent with the spirit and intent of the agricultural zoning districts. For these reasons and others described in the decision, the applicant does not meet the requirements and their application is denied.
Mr. Mazeka, do you have any comments?
The only thing that I'd like to say is just to inform the public of where this could possibly go from here. The applicant has the right to appeal this decision to the Court of Common Pleas of Berks County, and which is going to put the township in a position where if the judge would side with the applicant, at that point they may be able to put this solar farm in without any conditions being applied by the township. So this is a risk that's going to be taken by the township as far as denying this application. And after the Berks County Court of Common Pleas, they also have the right to appeal it to the state of Pennsylvania.
Commonwealth Court.
Commonwealth Court. Okay, so that's where we stand with this. It's not the end of the game. It's up to the applicant where they want to go with this, and we'll see what happens.
Mr. Long, do you have any comments?
The only comment, there really isn't much you can say about specifics as to what Mr. Davis has already said. The only thing I want to add to that is back in 2018, when we adopted the ordinance in the first place, I firmly believe that projects like this are not appropriate in agricultural land. So I'm just sticking as far as what I believed. At that time, I voted no, because I think it's not appropriate in ag land, period. I am a small farmer, and I think that it's just not appropriate. It's not an agricultural product. You know, so other than the specifics that Mr. Davis outlined, I definitely, we can see from the turmoil that it has caused in the township, you know, what things like this do.
All right, so at this point, we can go off the record. We have, the decision's been announced. I do have a couple of conformed copies of the decision. If you were a party, I'm more than willing to give you a copy. You will also be mailed copies, you know, as per the law. But I'm sure you are looking forward to reading it as much as I looked forward to writing it. But so if there are any parties, I'm sure, Mr. Gallagher, you'd like to see what's in here. There are some copies here. told you it would be fast tonight. I just didn't anticipate a former president visiting the region.
Get out of town. Wonder which. He's going to the west.
Yeah, I really just.
Nice seeing you. You too, take care. Bye.
All right, we have the rest of the meeting to get through